Hey everyone. When I first heard about the shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I immediately thought, great, another false flag. I hadn't looked into it. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the shooter. I didn't know how many people were dead. I didn't know nothing. I just saw school shooter, moved on with my day, sent this little tweet out. That was it. When I finally had time to sit down and look into it, I even posted on Twitter that, before I do this, I just want to mention that this truck that I talked about in the previous video has the lizard man on it. And I said that he was presenting us a gift. And I was wrong. He was actually begging for a sacrifice because he is on a knee, which is the reason I thought he was presenting a gift. But now that I've known about the event, it's clear to me he is begging for a sacrifice. He gets that sacrifice. And it's not the sacrifice or the children's deaths that he wants. It's the fear and sadness that is created within the energy fields of this world that he feeds off of. When I finally Google this gentleman and I find out that he looks like this, and it reminds me of this other gentleman who happened to shoot up a movie theater for the movie The Dark Knight Rises on the premiere night in Colorado. And this same event happens to be in the Illuminati card game. So just point that out. And this same movie also had Sandy Hook on a map in a scene towards the end. Just thought I'd point that out as well. You can imagine my surprise when I find out that the gentleman is a transgender who goes by the name Robin. I found this out just after sending out this Batman tweet. So, of course, when I heard that, Robin, I thought of Adam West, because I saw that the gentleman's name is actually Robert Westman. So I was like, wow, I just connected that to Batman, Westman, West, man is Adam. Thought that was super strange, so I thought I'd point that out. And then, of course, the kid graduates in 2017, so that's another 217. And, of course, I then Google Adam West, and I see that he died in 2017, so another 217. Then I'm watching a video by Donut, and he is talking about the newest movie called Weapons. And, of course, in this movie, there is a scene where someone is having a dream, and there is a gun with 217 on it. And in this same movie, there is a witch who just happens to look like the shooter, who just happened to look like the movie theater shooter, and all these other crazy connections to weird synchronicities for sure. So this kind of surprised me and then made me very interested in this movie Weapons. I was like, okay, what's going on with this movie? And of course, I start looking into it, and then there is a person who follows me, and they post out that they went to see the movie Weapons, and on the occupancy placard is the 217. Now, maybe that is media marketing, now that I think about it, but you never know. That was just kind of creepy that someone that we were following was posting this, and it was like, okay, that's very strange. So after that, I went back and I looked into Weapons more, and this is a scene that I wanted to talk about. So this over here on the left, I guess, are art projects of the students, and I read this one that you can read, and it says it's an astronaut. If I was an astronaut, I didn't read it all. That was enough for me. So I'm like, okay, we just had the Katy Perry, all that shit that I talked about, and you can see beside them is the ocean where the thing landed, right? And you can see, I don't know if that's a dolphin or a shark or whatever it is, but these are also the waves from Sandy Hook and iPet Goat videos that I've made. Remember those? And the Gabby Pateo videos? This is the same kind of waves. And even this black hole up at the top is really weird because I saw a show at work today in the cafeteria, and this black hole, I swear, was in a scene. They were looking for gold or something. They were digging for materials. It just is on for like 2 minutes when I come up for breaks, and it goes away. So I don't even know what it's called. I actually talked to my phone and said, "Phone, find it for me. Let's see how good the phone is. See if it was listening." So we'll see if it shows up in my feed soon. But even still, I thought this kid was super creepy. Like I said, the movie's creepy. And the fish. And I want to talk about the fish here next. This is a father of one of the children that was killed. And look at his shirt. Right? That's super weird. Again, that's like, what is going on here? More evidence that it's all set up and it's part of the plan. I just don't know the plan. Now, I want to go back to those characters that I talked about on the wall behind the boy, the astronauts. Because the day before I found this, I had Googled the mascot for the school where the shooting took place because I wanted to see if it ended up being a lizard or some kind of reptile. Of course, it ended up being this, who is loose. This is what came up. Someone on Twitter commented and said maybe it's Lucifer. Excellent point. It's also blue and yellow. So, of course, when I see that on the blue and yellow guy, I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. And again, it kind of resembles these characters on the wall in the art who are astronauts. Remember we talked about the Katy Perry birth ritual, all that stuff I spoke about in my previous videos. See how it's all kind of connecting? Very interesting, right? And finally, I just wanted to end it with this event that took place in the UK because, I found it very suspicious that this lady who kind of loses her shit in the UK is holding two weapons that look like 17. So, with that, everybody, we'll see you in the next one.